Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì, ìpínlẹ̀ ẹ̀yẹ. Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì, ulẹ̀ òyì ní. Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì, ìmọ̀ ti gòkè àgbà o. Ayé ayé a ò láyé ọmọ fáyé.
So that ball rolling. My name is Kayode Fayemi.
Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkìtì, ìpínlẹ̀ ẹ̀yẹ.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Ekiti on the Move. I am Tunji Saliu. The environment is acclaimed as the common home for all humans, but human harmful activities continue to impact negatively on this common home with attendant consequences on the health and economy of the same humans. How is Ekiti State redeeming its environment to making it fit for its inhabitants? You'll get to know about this right after our quick takes. In focus this week, reclaiming the environment for sustainable living.
The environment is a gift to man to tend, live and enjoy, but harmful human incursions have been identified as a major threat to the environment. This has made the environment to become increasingly hostile for human habitation. Ekiti State has had its own share of this destructive phenomenon, with its resultant impact on the environment in the form of perennial flooding, erosion, depletion of forest resources, a near epidemic of non-biodegradable materials, environmental pollution, and a host of others. The task to remedy the situation became compelling, especially for a government of Governor Kayode Fayemi, which considers human capital as the greatest resource in its quest to build a viral economy in the state, which is in line with its vision of a state that is fit for residents and visitors to live, to work, and to play. Waste disposal. Perhaps nothing outsources the optics of any environment than the indiscriminate dumping of waste, leading to more harmful effect on health, well-being and aesthetics of the environment. The administration of Governor Kayode Fayemi immediately took steps to put an end to these.
Now we do house-to-house collection of waste through one of the agency under this ministry, which is called EXWAMA, Ekiti State Waste Management Agency. They go from house to house. This has not been before. It started just about a year ago, and they have been doing that. Ekiti has been mapped and compartmentalized to about 3 sections, and each of these straws goes into these areas allocated to them. They go from house to house. So they go there, they have a specified day that they go, and when they get there, people bring their refuse out and they take it. And this has really helped in curtailing all these illegal dump sites all over the state capital and other places.
Just purchased 4 new compactor trucks. It makes a collection of waste very easy. And there's a change from the old system of collection of waste through dumping on tractors.
We're in house-to-house waste collection. Today we're in the Ekiti area, and you can see how people are coming out. This is what we do on daily basis. We visit every household so that we make sure they keep their waste within their premises, so that we visit them to carry their waste. We have 4 of these, and we have divided Ado into 4. So as we are working here, we are working in other areas. This is just one of the areas, which is area 1. So that is why you see them coming in now and putting their waste. That is what we normally do on daily basis to make sure the town is clean. Before we embarked on this house-to-house waste collection, we have done the enlightenment throughout the whole town under the leadership of our sole administrator, Honorable Kelekun. He has helped us in making sure that we enlighten the community and all the town in general, so that they are now aware. That is why they now key into the system.
Each of those houses, they pay just about, I think, a very meager, like just a token every month. A whole house will just pay just a token, and their refuses will be collected. So this has helped a great deal in transforming Ado Ekiti into a cleaner state capital. And the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. We are still looking forward to do more in that area.
The effect of this measure is already yielding positive results in the neighborhoods and metropolis, while advocacy and public enlightenment continues so as to deepen the gains.
Since they've been coming, it's okay, because the area is not as dirty as it has been before. So things are really improving since when they've been coming.
Wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ kíkólẹ̀ kó ìdọ̀tí yìí à ń gbádùn ṣùgbọ́n tẹ́lẹ̀ rí kò sírú ẹ̀ o a kì í parọ́ níṣẹ́ là ń gbé káàkiri ibi tí a rí tí a ń dà sí ṣùgbọ́n nísìnyí inú wa dùn sí ìjọba tó wà lóde yìí pàápàá pé mo gbìyànjú ó ṣe dáadáa fún wa.
Yeah, it's a good thing they are here because our environment is always clean due to the fact that they are always coming. So they should please keep it up, and we too we keep everything clean.
Gbogbo àdúgbò náà ló ń dọ̀tí. Gbogbo tán ti wá báyìí tán ti ń páàkì ẹ̀ dáadáa, àdúgbò ti ń mọ́. Kò sí dọ̀tí lójú àgbàrá mọ́, kò sí nǹkan kan mọ́.
Meanwhile, in tandem with global practices of converting waste to wealth and its attendant benefit to the people, the 2 operational dump sites in the outskirts of the state capital, Ado Ekiti, have been activated. The dump sites have mini factories where waste are sorted and processed to provide raw materials for both plastic and agricultural industries.
Government established this place so that we pick all the rubbers that cannot decay. They take it to this factory, then getting to this factory we sanitize, we watch, then we recycle for other products. And as a result of this, it generates revenue for the government, then employment for people in the town. So as a result of this, even the dump site doesn't really fill up because the materials we are using doesn't decay. Then about the compost plant, here we produce organic fertilizer. We use our cow dung, poultry waste, and domestic waste there. So all these things were being used as our input there.
Environmental earth. There is no gainsaying the fact that some of these immediate measures taken by government promptly boosted the environmental health of the people and counted in no small way in stemming the tide and fatal encroachment of many of the viral diseases that have assaulted our world in recent times. Worthy of mention are Lassa fever and COVID-19, which Ekiti State has been able to curtail their spread and impact on the people. The role of the state's Environmental Health Department is salutary in this regard and in other notorious practices of the people.
Our own activity is to make sure that there is no any occurrence of any outbreak of disease in the town. That is why we are engaged in moving from one place to the other from one premises to the other to see that the environment is tidy. And during this pandemic, we are at the forefront. Mr. Governor give us the necessary equipment, necessary materials to work with. So Mr. Governor approved the procurement of a fogger machine, motorized machine, knapsacks, and the provision of modular motorized machines. There's no pest and vector control machine equipment as of today that we don't have in the Ministry of Environment. We have been able to at least carry out fumigation exercise in all the marketplaces across the state, in all the hospitals, in all palaces. So that is what we started with. In all the senatorial districts, we have moved from, this department has moved from the entire Ekiti State to carry out fumigation exercise. Even including all the secretariat, all the local government secretariat headquarters. So we have been there, and we make sure that we carry out a fumigation exercise in all those areas. Aside that, the public schools, all our primary school and secondary school in Ekiti State. We are the police of the environment. So we are uniform officers, and we also have a environmental sanitation task force known as KABA, Kick Against Bad Dirt. So the replica of a KAI in Lagos. So we have as early as 4:30, 5 a.m. in the morning. So we lay ambush to those who are defecating in open places, in unauthorized places. So the next thing is enforcement. So we have been carrying out enforcement. So to apprehend those who are doing that, because we have environmental health and sanction law. So we don't go outside the law. So we use law to at least to deal with them.
Mr. Governor encouraged this ministry to sensitize the public on that. So he approved the employment of some young boys. They call them KABA, that is Kick Against Bad Acts. These are people, we know places where they do this sort of thing, especially very early in the mornings. They come do their thing. So these people, as early as 5:30 at times, they go there. Anybody caught, we don't give serious punishment, but we try to do corrective punishment. Part of what KABA boys always do is people that during the rains dump their refuse into the drains, then they are arrested. Either you make them to do work a task, not necessarily monetary fine, but something that will more or less embarrass that their act. So these are part of the things. So open education, you want to believe now, especially again, this ministry, we do a lot of sensitization on the radio, on the television, and then we have flyers to tell people the reason why you just have to encourage one house, at least one toilet.
Erosion and flood control. One of the troubling areas that the administration of Governor Kayode Fayemi has also taken immediate as well as far-reaching steps in changing the Ekiti story and bringing succor to the people is erosion and flood control in the state. The situation was bad.
The problem of erosion and flooding in Ekiti is so severe considering the terrain of the state, because we are surrounded by hills, and that makes Ekiti to be susceptible to flooding most of the time. And that's the reason why in Ekiti, as I'm talking to you now from the available data, we have close to 250 locations that are affected by flooding, either flooding or by erosion in the state. So it's a very big problem.
Before this government came on board, people in Ado Ekiti dwellers and some areas where we have issues of flooding will attest to the fact that during rainy season is always a turbulent period for these areas.
In those days, people don't sleep especially when it rains during rainy season, they believe that flooding may occur.
Ó lágbára gan lẹ́nu ọdún mélòó kan sí sẹ́yìn torí erosion yẹn gan tó bá ti dé báyìí òjò bá ti rọ̀ tó bá ti dé báyìí within 15 minutes erosion yẹn máa ń pọ̀ gan tó yẹ pé ó máa ń gba gbogbo bíi tó yẹ pé àwọn èèyàn gan máa ń bẹ̀rù láti kọjá gan gbà yẹn ni.
tẹ́lẹ̀ wàá wọ́n ní 40 pounds ìgbà kan lomi kó gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ gbogbo tó wà ń bẹ̀.
This river before is a flooded area. It has been blocked by grass. So, and before our community have been experiencing a kind of flood all around before.
Government has in the last 2 years spent millions of naira in relief materials and cash to ameliorate the losses of victims of flooding in the state. But the story is about to change. As we speak, many of the waterways have been dredged and cleared of obstacles to allow easy run of water as immediate measures, even as the more comprehensive and permanent New Map initiative kicks off soon.
Where we are now is Adere. This water flows from Iriakia where we are just coming from, and it goes straight to Ureje. And the total length is about 3 kilometers, 3,000 meters. And the reason why we carry out this dredging is to accommodate the runoff that we are likely to experience if we have any heavy rainfall.
To thank the governor for the helping us here. Before, when we come here newly, water used to enter our shop and carry some goods. But since he do this one for us, the water is not disturbing us much. So I thank God for that one. And my prayer for him is that God will continue to strengthen him all these days of his life. But I'm begging him again is that for him to help us to cast this thing so that the water will be reduced more and more. Email.
Àdúgbò ìgbà tá a kọ́lé síbẹ̀ omi máa ń dààmú wa ń gbà yẹn but àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà wa Fáyẹmí tó ṣe iṣẹ́ ń bì báyìí tó ṣe bíríìjì yìí ẹnugbà tó ń ṣe bíríìjì náà òjò tún dààmú wa but nínú ọdún yìí tó tún wá padà kó àdúpẹ́ omi ò dààmú wa but ọpẹ́ kan tá a tún gbà fún wa àdúrà kan tá a ń gbà fún wọn ni pé kán lè bá wa ṣe drainage ẹ̀ kó ṣe bọ́n ṣe Ọlọ́run á fún wọn lágbára.
This is the continuation of the stream that flows from Adere. They call this location Abekoko, and it flows right away from here to Ureje. You can see that the channel was opened up so that we'll be able to accommodate the volume of runoff that will be coming from the other part of the state, most especially the NTA road, Ilawe road, and some runoff from Falegan area.
This river you people are seeing is the river that links this community with Ikere, right from Ado Township. With the help of this Governor Kayode Fayemi government, it has been dredged. And since the time it has been dredged, we are no more experiencing this flooding as it is before. We are experiencing it, but it's not as it is before. So we really appreciate the government of the day. So please come to our aid as it has been done now. So we are still expecting more. Maybe we have a lasting solution for this flood of 18.
We appreciated what they've done. We will like that they complete the whole thing with cement and then build the bridge here so that people can be moving freely.
What we saw is just a temporary intervention. Because of the proactive way that our governor does things, we cannot wait until when the new map work will start before we find solution to where we have flood-prone areas. That is the reason why Mr. Governor graciously approved that, look, even though you are still going to do the comprehensive work in this area, go and make it okay for runoff to flow anytime it rains. That's the reason why we embark on the dredging of all the locations that we went around to see yesterday. And the total length of those locations is 18,605 meters, excluding that of Osun, which is 6,000 meters. And it has also been done. Although we are still going to do comprehensive work in all these locations that we visited yesterday. It's Nigerian Erosion and Watershed Management Project. It was an initiative of federal government in collaboration with the World Bank to solve the problem of soil erosion, flooding, land degradation, and depletion of forests in Nigeria. And the project development objective is to reduce the vulnerability of soil erosion in some catchment area in Nigeria. I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency, the Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, for his resilience, for his hard work. It is through his efforts that Ekiti was actually included in July 2019, considering the enormity of the problem of flooding and erosion that we are having in the state. The new map is going to address the issue of flooding and erosion. Apart from that, it will address forest reforestation, because if you look at all our forests in Ekiti, everything is totally depleted. And it's also going to address the issue of poverty, most especially in all the intervention area where we are going to work. It's part of the program of the new map that wherever they are working, wherever they are providing any intervention, the people around that area too have to benefit in a way. So definitely it's going to have economic benefit for Ekiti people wherever we are working.
Since many of the environmental challenges experienced by the people are man-made, the ministry saddled with the responsibility of superintending over the environment is poised to change the narrative through multi-pronged approaches in order to keep it safe and healthy for living and productivity.
We need a lot of sensitization of our people that this project, when it is completed, they should take ownership of everything. Because if huge amount of billions of naira is spent in a particular area and at the same time people are start dumping refuse on it again, it will cause a lot of, we'll come back to where we are before. So as we are doing the comprehensive work, we also be sensitizing our people. Look, this project, it is yours. You have to take ownership of it.
The first thing is sensitization and more sensitization. We will continue to sensitize people. Or let me just say, we continue to remind people of the need to do good environmental practice. We will not stop. No, you have to enforce, but let them imbibe that thing. So, and that can only happen through what? Sensitization.
We are making every effort to make sure that the collection of refuse, which is regulated by the government, gets everywhere. But before that time, let our people please exercise restraint and let them be their brother's keeper. Let them not pour refuse into the rain any longer. Let them not pour refuse into the drainages. Let them try as much as possible to live a clean life. And as from one of my goals is that this environmental sanitation, we are going to take it more seriously. Anybody that is found culpable will be sanctioned. We must live healthy.
Let's protect the environment so that it will in turn be a habitable shelter for us all. Now to our fact file.
Òpinlẹ̀ Èkìtì, ulẹ̀ òyì ní. Òpinlẹ̀ Èkìtì, mọ̀ ti gòkè àgbà o. Ayé ayé a ò láyé ọmọ Fáyẹ̀mí. Òpinlẹ̀ Èkìtì, òpinlẹ̀ ẹyẹ.
That's Ekiti on the Move this week. You can watch this episode and previous ones on our YouTube channel, Ekiti on the Move. You can also send your feedback via social media platforms showing on your screen. Till next week, thanks for watching and goodbye.
Òpinlẹ̀